I started entertaining with magic with my dad, my mom, my 3 sisters when I was 8 years old. My father had a traveling magic show, and he stressed to me a long time ago, it's not the trick that makes a magician good, it's the presentation. And I think my presentation is totally different than what anybody's doing out there today.
Tonight, Barbara, myself, Gruder, I'm going to do this in slow motion. Should be pretty easy for you, Groot. Here we go.
I like to bring the humor back into magic. I try to make myself the joke, not the audience. And so I always tell the audience, I'm not here to make fun of you, I'm here to have fun with you. And a lot of times I'll let the audience win. One lady wrote to me that she enjoyed the show because of my willingness to share the punchlines.
Thank you, David, for being a good volunteer. What do you do for a living, David? What do you do?
I'm a judge.
Okay, Mr. Wapner, get over here. Let's do this. You're a judge here in Tucson?
Not in Tucson.
Where you judge at?
In Michigan.
Michigan, yeah, that's a big court. Okay, yeah. What's your last, what do you go by? Judge what? Judge Jury? Judge Judy? What do you? Just Judge David? Okay, JD, let's go to the next page. What do you have on your next page, Judge David? Delivery truck. You ever drive a truck before, Judge? What kind of vehicle do you have in Michigan? What do you have?
I have a Viper.
And that's on the windshield? Yeah, okay, all right. I got 2 Vipers. All right. It's all right. What do you have on your next page, Judge?
Public notice.
Public notice. Go figure. You get that. And there's a subpoena right under it. How long have you been a judge? How long?
14 years.
14 years. Wow. What'd you do before that?
I was a lawyer.
So you can't win. You're like me.
Am I moving down or up?
You're like, he's exactly like me. He lies to people. All right. We're both magicians. Hey, what are you guys wearing underneath the gowns? What are you wearing underneath those black gowns? Everybody always wants to know.
Depends how hot it is.
Score 1 for the judge.
The best response that I could ever get from somebody is that we laughed so hard the time just flew by. I think my ability to ad-lib is what makes my show different. Every show actually is different from the one before because I work off the audience. And so that way you can tailor it to who you're working for.
What is your name? Who? Come on in. Come on up here, Jarvis. Nice to have you here, Jarvis. What's your last name, if you don't mind me asking, Jarvis?
One.
Because I'd like to know.
One.
I'd like to know. That's what. Oh, it's Jarvis Juan? Juan is the loneliest number. Okay, all right. Jarvis Juan. Let me guess. German name? Okay, I didn't know. Okay, now. Jarvis Juan? What town did your ancestors come from? Where did your ancestors come from?
From Walk.
Sure, right by Hamburg. Close to Munich. All right, examine this if you would there, Juan. We have Juan piece of rope, don't we? It's a long Juan, isn't it? Now, also, there's nothing on the thumbs, is there? I'm going to have you do me a favor. Tie up my thumbs as tight as you like. Harry Houdini could get out of anything. Juan, tie up the thumbs, if you would, really, really tight. Yeah. So where do you work at, Juan? What do you do for a living? What do you work at? Construction? Where at? Pizza Hut? Okay. Personal pan construction. He did good. He tied it up. He tied a couple double knots on both sides. Juan, if you would, I got a little green little shower cap in there. Would you grab that green shower cap? And I don't have it in my hand. It's over there. Place the green shower cap on top. Because what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to get out of here, okay? Why don't you step over on this side, Biladi? That way you'll be able to see a little bit easier. Because I don't want you to miss anything. We're going to try to get out of here. Everybody try to watch. On the count of three, Juan, we'll count to three. It goes 1, 2, 3, and then we'll try to get out of here, all right? I don't know, I can't do it. How about a round of applause for Juan? Sarah for Juan!
My act is something that all people can enjoy, whether they're an 80-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 5-year-old. It interacts and works well for any age, any background. It's very clean, very family-oriented entertainment.
Joe Campbell, nice to have you here, Joe Campbell. What do you do for a living, Joe?
I'm retired.
Hey, works for the government. Okay, all right. What Joe Campbell and I are going to do tonight, we're going to rip a paper to shreds. Now, did you say Joe Camel, like the camel, or Joe Campbell? What's that?
Don't matter.
Don't matter, okay. I'll do the jokes, okay, Joe Camel? Tonight, Joe and I are going to rip a paper up to shreds, and by our mental concentration, of my mental concentration, we're going to put it back together. Now, so you don't forget the paper, we're going to go through each and every page. Joe, are you familiar with the thrifty nickel? Do they have the thrifty nickel here in Tucson? What do they call it here in Tucson? Dandy dime? Must be inflation. Okay. But Joe, here's an insert from it. What we're going to do is we're going to rip the paper up and then we're going to put it back together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through the paper, we hope that you will try to remember something from each page. This way we know it's the same paper that we start off with. On my last page here, it says, carpet cleaning right here. 2 rooms and a hallway. Carpet care. Joe Camel, what do you have on your last page? Come to the microphone and tell everybody.
Advertising consultant. Advertising consultant.
A couple people down there, a girl and a guy. Are you married, Joe?
Yeah.
How many years have you been married?
52.
52 years! Viagra!
Navy.
In the Navy? Wow, good for you. He's in the Navy. All right. What were you in the Navy? What'd you do? What?
Aviation mechanic.
Aviation narcotic? Okay, yeah. And last but not least, the title page. This one has the thrifty nickel. It says Toyota clearance sale. And what's on your front page, Joe? What do you have on your title page?
Family, cook family food.
Employment opportunities. Hold it up high so everybody can see, Joe. Perfect. Okay. Put the paper in front of you like this, Joe. Open it to the center and place it in front of your, perfect, like that. Look. We look like a couple flashers, don't we, Joey? Hey, it rings a bell for the... People know we rip the paper because we rip it down the middle. And the illusion will begin when we rip the paper. Very quickly, very neatly, Joe, rip your paper down the middle. You gotta go fast, that's the key word. Just right down the middle. Perfect, right down the middle, Joey. You decapitated the lady there, Joey. You place one on top of the other if you can there, Joey. Just go at your own pace. Perfect. Place it together, Joe, and very quickly, very neatly, rip it again down the middle. You gotta go fast. You went too slow, Joe. That was a lot better, wasn't it, Joey? The point is, we never tear the paper. We never rip it, do we, Joe? You don't rip it. You mutilate it, don't you? Yes. People know we tear it because they hear it being torn. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, doesn't it sound like I ripped mine? Rip yours right here, Joe. All right. People know we tear it because they see the separate pieces. Rip it one more time in half, Joe, and show the lovely audience your separate pieces. Just flap them in the wind. Don't lose any of your pieces. Something tells me you lost a lot of them a long time ago. Folks, this is the magical time. Tonight, Joe and I are going to put the paper back together. Now, Joe, I will put my paper back together. You put your paper back together. Not so funny now, Smarty, is it? He's a good guy. I'm going to teach him. Joe, you got to come up from underneath. You got to fold it together. You got to believe that it happens. You got to walk up into a ball. You're doing better than me. You're making yours disappear. That's a whole other trick. As a good Baptist would say in church, I believe. Holler out if you believe, Joe.
I don't.
Together, don't blink. Joe and I are doing it together. Are you ready, Joe? Let's do it. 1. Hey, Joe, why don't you count with me, too? Yeah, wait till I go, though. That's good. We'll start here. Yeah, we'll start here, then we'll go 1. Then we come back, then 2, then back, then 3. Joe and I take 2. Holler out, Joe. Let's do it. 1. Go. Wait for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. We're a little quick. You know, folks, Mr. Ed, he could always count. Remember the talking horse, Mr. Ed? Well, tonight, I will do Mr. Ed. I will do the hoof. He would count like this. He'd go. And then with the horse, he'd go. I used to love Mr. Ed. Tonight, I will do the hoof. I'll have Joe do the. You'd rather do the hoof? You can do it, Joey. Let's do it. You and I doing Mr. Ed.
How many times?
Just once.
How many times?
Mr. Ed had too many oats, didn't he? Well, folks, this is the magical time. We put the paper back together. Don't blink. Are you ready, Joe? Let's do it. On the count of 3, we'll throw it down in front of our bodies. Don't blink. Here we do it. 1. Joe, count with me, okay? We'll count to 3 together, okay? 1. 2. 3. Throw it down in front of your body, Joe. Let's see how well you... Well, it is in one piece, isn't it? One big mess. Now, folks, if this is the same paper, we should have the same advertisements, the same pictures. Let's go back and look at our paper. Remember my carpet care? Yeah, good idea, Joe. Look for your last page. What'd you have? Oh, you had the ball. You know what? You had the lady and the man. Look for them. See if they're in there, Joey. Real estate. Remember real estate? Joe, look for the cars. Are the cars in there? Kind of unpeel it there. See if you had those cars. Keep looking, Joey. Keep looking. Save 15% fall blowout. Joe, did you find the cars? Hey, there they are. They were 4 doors. Now they're 2 doors. Keep looking, Joey.
I got it. The little card.
The little cars, yeah. Arcades rent to own. And last but not least, the title page, the Thrifty Nickel. You had employment opportunities. It's in there somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Joe Campbell?
Magic is universal. It doesn't matter where you're from. Everybody seems to be intrigued by magic. I literally had one show where I had a guy from Italy and a guy from London, and I think maybe even a lady from Asia on stage at the same time.
Catholic, perfect. Tonight, Pepe, you are the Pope. He's a Catholic Pope. Tonight, you're Pope Pepe on a rope. Pope on a rope. Folks, I'm gonna let the Popey do the third and final card by himself. Now, Pope, I want you to come up to the microphone, use all your creativity, make it go from Susie over to Wales. Okay? Now, tonight, give him a round of applause to stir up his creativity. Let's welcome him to the microphone. You don't have to sing. He goes, I don't know that song. No, you don't have to sing. No. Give him a round of applause.
Okay, I can see the crowd now. He's going up, and then he's going down, and then he's going up again, and then he goes to the